So I figured now we are past the halfway mark of the year, it would be a good time to do a video about what you should expect for Predecessor's early access. Now this isn't some clickbait video, I will tell you right now there is no known date, and as I've said before, I don't personally expect a date before the end of July at a minimum. Before getting into the video, remember to subscribe, like or dislike, and comment with any feedback or questions as it helps the channel. Now getting into what you should expect. The first thing I'd like to talk about is where it will actually launch. We know it's listed on the Epic Store and Steam, but people ask a lot about console. Personally, I would doubt if console is coming at the same time as PC, purely because it wasn't confirmed as being worked on until around the same time they got the Epic Mega Grant. It was changed from being a maybe type bit of text on the FAQ to a definitely this is in progress. And considering that was only early this year, around March, I wouldn't really be expecting them to bash out a console build in only a few months and get it approved. Though if early access does turn out to be late this year, then perhaps it wouldn't be so far behind joining early access on console. Now in terms of which consoles, considering that Predecessor isn't supposed to fully release until 2022, all being well, to me it would make more sense to aim for the PS5 and the new Xbox Series X, as in the next few years the PS4 and the Xbox One will be phased out, whereas the next gen consoles, now the supply is starting to stabilize a little bit, will be what everyone aims to step up to and own, so we will see. I suppose it depends on the development costs versus longevity from a business point of view. Talking about the pricing side of things, as a lot of people keep asking if the game will be free, my personal feeling is that it probably won't be, at least not for early access. The reason being is because the early stages of development / running the game are the most expensive, as you have the server costs, plus you're still trying to develop the game, paying everybody who runs all of that side of things, and Ameda is hiring new staff for whatever else they may have planned or need expertise in. Plus don't forget, even Paragon's early access wasn't free. It was a closed alpha testing environment where you had to pay to get in. Only when it was beta was it free. I think a fair price would be around £10 to £15, which is around $15 to $20. Maybe add a perk for being in the early access, like a skin set they could create down the line that's just a really basic one for each early access hero. Like genuinely, even if it was just they wore a t-shirt that said EA supporter, I would be happy, or an emote where there was a voice line that said Paragon? More like Paragon. Like that would be pretty meta for Discord mods. Although another cheeky early access trick they could do to pull people in is have the first week of early access be free to people to allow people to try it, as people may feel a little burned with another Paragon asset MOBA on Steam. Unsure if that's possible, but it would definitely get the player numbers up and allow the word to spread. Now to talk about the actual game itself, what heroes should you be expecting? Well, based on the alpha test last October, we already know there will be Lieutenant Bellica, Gideon, Gadget, Sparrow, Murdoch, Chimera, Sevarog, Feng Mao, Steel, Nabash and Muriel. And after the test we also had confirmation that Drongo and Kalari would also be added for next time. Whether there will be any more added to that we don't know, it's anybody's guess, but quite a few people in the Discord as well as other content makers seem to keep implying there will be, so we'll just have to see. In terms of changes to the heroes since the last alpha, we know they are going to have a unique passive each, but this could be a cool change and allow for a more personal touch on each character, which makes them stand out a little bit more, as some roles, especially carries, as I'm sure any League player will know, it can feel a little bit samey if you're a single role player. Maybe this can try help alleviate this. On top of this, every hero could be getting a blink. This was teased a few months ago as a work in progress feature and subject to change, but if it does come into early access, this will be a huge change, giving immobile heroes like Sparrow or Steel a lifeline to escape, or maybe a way to have a ballsy engage into an enemy team. Who knows? To talk about the map quickly, in case you haven't seen, we have been getting constant teasers of the new map, so expect a brand new map with a familiar feel to both Monolith and Legacy, based on what the devs have been saying. Whether we will have new mechanics or objectives we haven't seen before remains to be seen. So far we've seen a couple of screenshots and 2 videos, so if you want to keep up to date I'd keep an eye on the Predecessor social media posts, as there's been quite a few in the last month or so. I don't think we're going to get anything crazy like a 4th lane or a battle royale map, please dear god no, but they seem to want to keep familiarity but put their own flair to it. So maybe they will try and mix up how the lanes work or the placement of the lanes? I don't know. But I'd say set your expectations map-wise to familiarity with originality. One thing a lot of Paragon players will like is the fact that we have had a little tease of vertical movement within the new map. I've gone over a few of these vertical points in my previous videos, and in the latest one we also see another little hint in the background of some vertical options within the jungle. So if you are a jungler, you might be starting to drool a little bit. So we've talked about platforms, pricing, heroes, and the map. What's next? Well, it wouldn't be a MOBA without a skin store, right? So they haven't shown too much in the way of skins, mainly the Jailer Murdoch skin that was teased a long while ago. But based on the look of it and the fact it's their only real skin shown, that I know of anyway, they've used this as a benchmark for high quality skins. Or who knows, maybe this is just their standard for skins. But I would not be surprised to see at least one skin for each hero during the early access period, if not more. The main issue with skins within a MOBA and why I think Omega will be cautious with skins is during fast-paced combat you need to be able to tell who you're looking at regardless of what skin they have, meaning each skin needs to be unique but at the same time identifiable, as you don't want to mistake, let's say, Kalari for a Drongo because the skin happens to make Kalari look a bit Mad Max. My personal expectations for skins are one high quality skin each hero before full launch, and maybe a few more simpler designs at a lower pricing. Maybe £10 to £15 for the highest quality skins, and maybe £3 to £5 for basic ones and anywhere in between for intermediate ones. I'd just ask please don't go the route of Apex Legends where one basic skin was $20 and skin sets where you had to buy $170 worth of skins to unlock the final skin in the set. That's not a good model to choose. So after skins, what's next? Well, the only thing left to touch on is matchmaking. My hopes are by the time this launches into early access we will have some form of matchmaking and a system that matches groups of players versus other similar sized groups of players. For those that remember, during the last test you could only play with a maximum group of 2 people, to prevent 5-man stacks just stomping random groups. I assume for early access this limit of 2-person groups will be removed, but the matchmaking will take over. As you may know from my last Notch review, I absolutely hate when games allow for stacks of 5 people to go against random, or mostly random teams, as it will 99% of the time result in a stomp. Most games with good matchmaking will try to match 3 people and 2 randoms against 3 people and 2 randoms, but if it takes too long, it may widen the search to be a little less even. It's never going to be a perfect system, it doesn't always work, but at least it will try to make it even, and I hope Predecessor will as well. The last thing you want is a bunch of new players getting stomped on because there's no system to help them find a match that's more reflective of their capabilities, because most likely, they will be the first ones to quit and never come back. Though I'm not saying that's likely to be the case with Predecessor, as I'm sure the team is 100% aware of that. I think that covers pretty much all the bases. Thank you for bearing with me, we can both take a nice deep breath now it's over. I think that's pretty much all I can cover at this point until we get more information and maybe a trailer. We are into the second half of the year now with early access to be confirmed on track for 2021, but that is subject to change. Don't come at me with pitchforks if it doesn't. But fingers crossed we will be hearing some news in the coming weeks and months as to if and when that might be. Let me know what you think of the video in the comments and leave a like or dislike. Also, I'm going to shamelessly plug my Linktree, which is in the description, and my Twitter bio if you want to follow my social medias. They are all in that link. But with that, I will see you for the next video.